Hello everyone. So again, SLC marketing company. I want to just give them uh, value at scale. So YouTube is obviously the free platform to give value. There's obviously the difference of not taking action and having the knowledge versus actually having the knowledge and taking action. And so, what I want everyone to realize is, I've lost a lot of money on my journey in trading, and I've told a couple of my friends how much money I've lost in trading. I don't really want to say because it's more personal information, but what I will say is, trading is a marathon. And when we talk about, marathon runners, David Goggins, he talks about the fucking dungeon. Man's ran like 800 miles in 8 weekends. Man, it just took the dungeon, right? Phil Heath, 7-time Mr. Olympia, he talks about the dark side, right? And so like earlier I was watching a dance video. I'm like, these people are literally my competition, a competition in the most friendly and sportsmanship way against like these other dancers. That's my direct, fuel and fire that makes me want to dance more, right? I get motivated by these kids, you know what I mean? Bro, I get motivated by these kids, right? And so with that being said, how would an individual get from point A to point Z? Just any obstacle, like the way I envision it, just a fucking gargoyle slamming every rock, just like every rock, every like what like castle, dirt, sand, beach, people throwing what is it called, tridents and spears and at the gargoyle, and he's just straight flying to his destination, A to Z, right? He shows up, he has a stake in his back, a spear in his heart, and he just goes, I got to my goal, I got to where I wanted to fucking be, right? So I'm thinking, like, I'm not like we talk about laser focus and success, and it's like this, like when I'm thinking about what success is and where we get to the situation, it's not one straight line. It's a fucking, it's like, and then you go back, and then you're back here, and then you want to get over here, and then you're over here, and you're excited, and then life, all your work doesn't matter, it's gone, and then you're like, wait, let me try again. So you want to get from point A to point Z, but it doesn't work out. So like I said, like gargoyle, like just complete dark side. So and we're thinking about like massive action. Like I'm thinking about waking up. I literally made my clocks around my phones to New York time when I first learned how to trade. When I began beatboxing, like on my lip rolls, I slept with my mouth in the lip roll position, like just like that. Like when I began my esports journey and began getting better at video games, I literally held my controller in my hand while I was sleeping, right? And so my hands a little bit. But when we talk about like what massive action is, it's literally going to the demonic devils within our, like that fucking hellish fire where absolute exhausted. I bet you when David Goggins was on his 99th mile or whatever, he goes, what the fuck am I doing? Why the hell am I doing this? And he just goes, no, like, just internal, fire, internal fucking flame, internal fucking, like, there's devil, demonic. It's just a fucking monster, It's like, when, he's like, running is like, yo, why the fuck am I doing this? Like, no, like drawing from the dark dimension, And so that's literally the mindset that I have towards, entrepreneurship and business and working. I was talking to my friend about, a way to get better at typing is to literally turn the phone upside down. So when I'm typing on my iPad or typing on my phone, I'll literally turn my phone upside down and type. And what it just does, it literally hurts my eyes, but it also, you have to work harder. You have to kind of understand where the dead zone is on the iPhone is. The dead zone is a little bit like different because when you're typing from the bottom, you have to go like this. Typing the phone upside down, you have to like press like that. So it's a little bit different. And in doing these little small things, it's not only it's not only slowly callousing my mind to embrace discomfort. But what I am thinking about is, why the fuck am I not where I want to be right now? And that's just from action. That's just from, like, like if you know we really think about, man, where do I want to be? I want to have 10 clients. I want to have 100 clients. I have 0 clients right now, right? And so my question, like, I'm not creating this video for bullshit or BS. This video is literally documenting my journey of going from ground zero, buck foot nothing, like going rags to riches, you know. And I'm documenting this journey. Like, I have no business experience. I have nothing. And so this is the beginning, drawing power from the dark dimension, the demonic, devilish side. The war has begun. You know, it's I I feel like when it's like, oh, like millionaire or like billionaire, oh yeah, I'm here. No, the war, that is the beginning of the war. You know, I thought when I made a little bit money in trading, I'll be cool. I thought when, you know, I bought a couple courses, okay, cool. No, this is the fucking war, okay? And who wins in war? Devils, demons. Who wins in the war, right? The menaces in those wars, the the dealers from the dark dimension, right? And so why I talk about that? I'm talking about, like, I would literally, you know, and to the extremes that I have gone is I would literally just sit there for maybe an hour and just beatbox, right? And then just drink like a whole gallon of water. I'm thinking to myself, what are the most extreme things I've ever done? You know, I've biked 10 miles without any prior nutrients. And those are all very small things. I'm 19, I'm young, right? So I have, like, now, you know, hearing, you know, stories of other absolute peak performancers like David Goggins, Ed Milet, um, uh, Phil Heath, you know, back then when Kobe Bryant was up, you know, like I'm talking about the highest level performers and what it is. And you'll hear, like, the way that Phil Heath talks about, he's the dark side. David Goggins talks about the dungeon, you know? And so, you know, as this video, I just wanted to just make it almost for myself, you know? So maybe I could title this like, hey Sean, wake the fuck up, like, draw power from the dark, become a fucking zombie, you know? Like, if just literally be a zombie, you know, 19-hour work days. I don't care. The goals are coming. No, actually, excuse me, the identity is on the way. I'm not gonna be a replicate of another individual. It's gonna be SLC. I'm not talking about that gargoyle. Like, when I say it as in laser success, as a laser focus, as in LASIK focus, what I literally mean is, like, that gargoyle is that laser focus. Does that make sense? Like, in the same way when a laser gets shot, a laser beam, it pierces through everything and gets to point where it wants to be. That gargoyle is the exact same shit. Just boom, a fucking beam through everything, destroys all the rocks, destroys all the castles, destroys all the mountains, and that gargoyle is just flying like a fucking beam. That's how I envision, you know, my work ethic. You know, if I to explain my work ethic to an individual or to somebody, I would say, like, my work ethic is literally a gargoyle, and there's just like modern warfare, spears, you know, stakes, everything, future laser beams, everything shooting at me. Like, literally Thanos with his Infinity Stones are just coming at me, and I don't see anything, I don't hear anything. I just literally gargoyle focus. There's laser focus, which is like a small micro beam, right? Then there's gargoyle focus, and that's a nanotech fucking beam, a Planck length fucking beam. And Planck length is one of the smallest unit of measures. So it's like, what is it? It's like 1 times 10 to the negative 70. Yeah, or 1 times 10 to the negative 1 times 10 to the negative 71, actually. So with that being said, you know, that tiny unit of, like, laser focus unit of measure. And Phil Heath, he talks about this too with one of the fights that Floyd Mayweather had. One of his opponents hit him, and Floyd Mayweather was a little bit rocky. Why didn't his opponent go crazy, right? Start digging in. At that moment, what Phil Heath talks about is it was a needle through a haystack situation. And that's literally my gargoyle meta, what is it called? Metaphor, where it's that tiny needle in a haystack. If his opponent went crazy, then what's it called? A Flamengo with a guy and hit back on his feet, or hit back on his back, versus if that guy took the slither of opportunity, you know, like our gargoyle, he sees a tiny hole, a tiny opportunity, and he just blasts, and just goes crazy. And then even though like at the end, like, you know, if the guy's all roughed up, he still was able to win the fight. Even at the end of the journey, the gargoyle still, you know, got to where he wanted to be. You know, even though he's all beaten up, he's all, you know, injuries or whatever. It's like the idea that I said with the entrepreneurial up and down that I was drawing earlier. I don't know if you can see the picture, it's probably not anymore. But the reason why I was talking about like this is, it's like, it's not that it's the light is moving in a straight path and it goes through everything, but the speed of which the light is moving, right? Then all the obstacles that appear, you can either go around with the same exact speed, or just go absolute psycho and then try to go bulldoze through the obstacles. So the only way to achieve this in actuality is all the obstacles get bulldozed through. So in the same sense that this is a real journey of an entrepreneur and a real journey of success, what I am saying is the speed in which we both work in both locations is correct. So what I mean is, when this concept of one streamline, that quote unquote speed is the same exact thing here. So what I mean by that is, in the same sense that there are obstacles that appear in our way, but when those obstacles happen, mind and body are still wired at the same speed as it was when my business was going, you know, or when life was going upwards. So what I mean by that is, check this out. This is literally an analysis on life that I've just developed. As you know, things move upward, life seems to speed up and increase. And what ends up happening is the individual gets comfortable and the work ethic decreases. So it goes up and then it goes down, right? However, check this out. If the speed at which we work can make this into this, then theoretically speaking, all we have to do is just increase the speed at which we can accomplish that work, accomplish those tasks. And so what I mean by is, yes, it is really like this. There are many obstacles, but in the same sense that no matter what obstacles, I have laser focus and I go through every single obstacle, right? Gargoyle focus. This, and right with the right word, the word finesse. What does finesse mean, okay? Finesse means with ease. It means using difficult tasks and then allowing to transform those difficult tasks to make them look easier. What does finesse mean? Finesse is the situation where a task can seem extremely difficult, extremely hard, that takes a lot of effort, and yet the individual is able to do it flawlessly or with little to minimal effort. So what I mean by this diagram or this picture, this is the real journey and this is the real truth of success. However, through finesse, the speed at which the successor is succeeding at or working at is that fast. And so what I mean is, life is just like this. Yep, that's correct. Life is just like this. That is correct. However, the individual with the correct mindset, the correct success mindset, instead of seeing it like that, all I think about is, well, this is just based on speed then. Because if life really is like this, then the faster you're able to get through that, right? Then the quicker we'll be able to go to that consistent climb. And like, if I were to draw out, you know, a success journey, it would be more like that. And I think another shortcut that we can worry about success is, rather than focusing on the high points, on the crows, we focus on the troughs. Because what the troughs are teaching us on our journey to success is where are our failures. So success is up there, and each one of these troughs is a failure. However, the knowledge, so this could be revenue, this could be self-esteem, this could be journey. However, the knowledge, just like this. However, the knowledge is just like this. Everyone, I'm SLC. Hope you enjoyed.